So yeah, that's a slide deck. So now it's time for a mock draft. We're gonna do trade up. No, we're gonna do a straight up draft. Then we're gonna do a trade down, and then we're gonna get you guys out of here. So again, we appreciate Dunc from Unnecessary Bluntness joining us again. Dunc is one of those powerhouses in the Panther content world, so I definitely appreciate him chopping up with us on this Thursday night to go ahead and talk about mock draft 4.0. So let me go ahead and share my screen.
Let's do it, man.
All right, so we are up and popping. Only thing I did was start the draft. We're doing a full 7, sticking at number 8, no trades. Let's see how it goes. Go ahead and make this bigger. All right, so Aldu Carter went first. Mason Graham went second. Travis Hunter third. Tech 4. Will Campbell, Ashon Genty, Cam Ward went 7. We are on the clock. So right now, with everything that we've stated that we need, you do have Malachi Starks there. You do have Campbell there as well. Mike Green is there. Will Johnson's there. James Pierce is there. Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan, Matthew Golden, Michael Williams, and Jalen Walker. So right here, Dunc, who are you thinking right now?
And that PFF is very, very harsh on Jalen Walker. Like I said, some people have him in the top 5. Some people don't, and so in this
I don't care about being upgrade again. This is us because again, regardless of it, you can be wrong. They can be wrong, and then this person can be a stud. So
should we do what we think the Panthers are gonna do, or what?
Correct.
The Panthers, I think they. Go ahead.
Do you want to do Panthers think for straight up, or you want to do it for the trade back? Which scenario?
I'll do it. I'll do for pick straight up. I'll do what I would do.
Okay.
Trade back. I think the Panthers will trade back, so we'll do their mentality then.
Okay.
If this was me picking on the board right now, I'd scroll down just a little bit. I've done it before. I would probably go with Will Johnson just because I want a corner, but it just seems like a luxury pick because we have Mike Jackson back. But I also think that adding a guy like Will Johnson will unlock J.C. Horn to play a lot more places like nickel and stuff. Like we saw with Jalen Ramsey, and during their Super Bowl run, he played a lot of nickel, played a lot of close to the line of scrimmage at times. So Will Johnson is a guy that I look at if I want to think, but this edge class is so deep. That's why I feel comfortable with not going edge right away. I don't know. What would you lean in this scenario?
I would go James Pierce. Yeah. I talked about a lot about Jalen Walker. Again, I think that's the pick they want, but I want James Pierce. He was supposed to be the number 1 prospect in 2023. Had a down year, but it's not that bad off. If we're looking at the 90.4 to 87.1, that's literally 2 between 3 points.
Yeah.
Pass rushing grade is elite. Run stopping grade is elite. True setting the edge rate is elite. So for me, I would go James Pierce. Again, I'm not in disagreement of the edges in this draft being deep, but I want that talent right away. I need somebody from the ground running, like to start out the gate. Basically, like if this is a horse race, out the gate, we need that player to hit the ground running.
Yeah. Nah, I got you. It's tough, man. It's tough. So
I mean, even if you go Will Johnson, I know another player we can get down, and that's Jared Ivey. I'm a big homer for Jared Ivey out of Ole Miss.
And the guy at the top there is Jahdae Barron, who we saw the clip. Everybody saw the clip of on the Panthers when they signed Tank Wharton. They were watching the Georgia-Texas game in the background, and they had the PFF profile pulled up of Jahdae Barron. And we need a nickel. I talked about what we need, the need at nickel. So I'm gonna mix it up. I've never done it before. Let's take Jahdae Barron here, man. Bump it. Some people have a cornerback 2. He would be cornerback 1 in this scenario. Cornerback 2, I guess it depends on how you build Travis Hunter. But he has the skills to cover. He can play outside, play inside. He's very smart. You can blitz with him. A little bit undersized for me, in my opinion, as well. But I think he's going to be a nickel guy just because of the lack of arm length. But he's a guy that's a smart football player, man. I think that's what we need in coverage. Too many miscommunications last year in the secondary. You can see here on this describing him, better for cover 3 or quarters heavy schemes. That's us. So we play a lot of cover 3. I think we probably were top 3 in the league in playing cover 3 last year. So I'm just gonna throw a curveball, man. I'm gonna go Jade Barron.
All right. Ooh, I'm surprised JT fell.
Man, that gap between
you saw how quick. And then look, my guy right there already got taken by the Chargers at 55 and Jared Ivey. So that man,
yeah, it's tough. If you
I'm gonna talk about this right here because I saw your tweet the other day that said, "Do not be surprised if Carolina go gets a tackle early in day 2."
On day 2, there's a and everybody don't love PFF, but they did a study about the difference between drafting a guy, offensive lineman, on day 1 through 3, day 1 and 2 versus day 3, and the effect. There's I think it's about 20 something. It was like 15 to 20 something percent more higher hit rate on getting a quality starting offensive lineman, drafting him in day 1 and 2 compared to day 3 or going in free agency. So we need an heir apparent for Taylor Moton.
Correct.
It's not the prettiest, but there's a couple guys that I like that I would feel comfortable with being at tackle, but a second round pick seems very, very still.
Rich.
Let's look at safety.
All right.
Let's see who's on the board at safety. We talked about we need safety. And okay, Winston is there to injury. Makuba's still there. He'll probably be their next pick. So I'm good on safety. Let's look at wide receiver. A lot of guys that we had on our list are still available at safety. So we're
correct.
Good.
There goes Jalen. Jalen still will be available at 74.
Yep. And so if we're not trading back, I would maybe consider going going tackle, but it's people gonna throw tomatoes at me if I pick it right here on this draft. Keep scrolling down a little on this list. I want to see who else is on there. Not going running back at 2. Kyle Kennard is a guy that I think is hometown kid.
I like this guy here. It's Joshua Stewart. Ricky put me on him. High motor guy. Very high motor, a little bit undersized as well too.
So let me think. I'm not gonna study too long. What you think about Kennard, man?
Luke Kennard, I mean, I like the size. 6'5", 254.
He has the arm length too.
Correct. The good thing about it, you have a veteran in that room that can teach these young men the game, the traits that you need. So if you get Cal Kennard right here, does he need to come in and start? Maybe. But you also have, again, you have a Pat Jones, you have a DJ Wanning. So again, with Clowney, if Luke Kennard comes in, is in the playbook, trying to perfect his skill set where he's lacking, I think he can possibly be that starter, and we can see a better Jadeveon Clowney. Again, Jadeveon Clowney does not need to play every snap. He is the type that needs to play maybe 40% of your snaps and give you the best of his game now. So I'm not opposed to getting Cal Kennard right there. I think a lot of Panther fans who are Gamecock fans love that they want to keep talent here in the Carolina. So I would not be opposed to getting a Cal Kennard and then either going to get that safety or wide receiver at 74.
Yeah, let's go ahead and run Kennard here because quiet as kept. Jade Barron can play a little bit of safety too. He played safety as a I guess is he a junior now? I don't know, whatever. Last year he played a lot of safety as well. They didn't really move him down to nickel and what's the call?
Yeah, he's a senior. He was a junior last year. You're right.
Yeah, so junior year he played a lot of safety as well. So he has that versatility, which is why I like Jade. But definitely want to get a bona fide ball hawk later. But let's go ahead and get Kennard, man. Juice up that pass rush.
All right. So let me go ahead and add safety, and then we want a wide receiver. Like I said, all right, pick 74. We already have, again, you have Trey Harris there, wide receiver, Winston Jr., then you have Jalen Noel, wide receiver we already talked about throughout the video. Do you want to go wide receiver here or you want to look at corners? Well, you already got your corner. What about linebacker? Because I do think we still need a linebacker and linebacker depth as well.
We do need a linebacker. There's a few guys that I like later on, so I may hold on that. I do want to look at safety, though. because I think there's going to be a drop off in that gap that we have right now between 74. And I'm tempted because Makuba's there, but Makuba's been going in the 90s. And if we don't, without trading, I think I might go ahead and take Makuba. Winston has that injury. Ransom is more of a run stopper. Makuba's probably the best all around. We talked about it on the first part. I think he's arguably top 2 or 3 in his class, actually. He's just small. But having him as that deep guy, having that chemistry already with Jade Barron, I think that's going to be a thing that helps get both of them 2 smart players that are young. If you're going to put young players on the field, let's get some guys that are communicators, that are smart, that can take the ball away. So I'm good with Makuba here. I'm not gonna study long on this one. I like that.
I see what you did there. I like that. All right, let's see. So they both went. The wide receivers that Jalen Noel, they all have went. Let's see.
They go Trey Harris. I just saw they were Noel right there. He went to the Packers.
He went to the Packers. Yep, he went to the Packers at 87. So we weren't even going to be able to get him.
Yeah, not without trading him back.
Correct. All right, so the recap, you already got your corner, you got your DN, you got your safety. Now,
is it time for offense or what we done?
I'll put the tackles. I love Brandon and Crenshaw Dickerson out of Florida. Let's put wide receiver, and then let's look at running back. And one thing I would say this too, with the tackles I've been looking at, Dunc, if you're playing left tackle, I kind of shy away. But if you're a true right tackle, what we know, but does not restructure Taylor Moton's contract, does that mean that that's the end of Taylor Moton here at Carolina? We don't know. But I'd rather have a true right tackle that can learn behind the staple of our offensive line and learn from him to be the new future right tackle of the Carolina Panthers.
Like we talked about, planning, like being more of a forward thinker, like you said with Dan Morgan and stuff. Like, don't just be reactive. Like, oh, Taylor Moton's gone now. Let's scramble and find a tackle. No, like go ahead and put that plan in place early to figure out what you want to do. And even if you do keep him around, you have a guy waiting in the wing that is still 30. Even if we extend him, it may only be for another year or two, and he's 30. Right? So like, let's go ahead and figure out a succession plan. That way, if you're negotiating an extension, you might have a little bit more leverage if you already got his replacement on the roster. That he won't be able to hit you in the head. You know what I'm saying? When it's time to negotiate. But yeah, I like Crenshaw. Lunt was a guy that was on the list, and that tackle list, and I like as well. He's huge. Out of UConn. Yeah, he's huge, and he's
305.
Yeah, and so he'll probably be a day 3 guy anyway. So we ain't got to worry about him right now at this bit. We're on day 3 right now anyway. So
correct.
We went to he'll be around in my opinion for definitely 114. But receiver wise though, man, I'm thinking receiver here, but we still have some time for our guy Kyle Williams. I'm really want to make sure we get him. Let's look at tight end too. I think the good Gunnar Helm is a decent pick.
I like Benjamin too.
Yeah, he has a lot of upside. I think that he wasn't able to show this past year. And then running back, our guy Brashard Smith is there. Ja'Cory is there as well.
Yeah, he was still there.
I mean, this is a position that I don't know. I don't know what position I should lean here. We got the.
Let me look at linebackers.
Oh yeah, linebacker too. Yeah.
There's no way he's falling that far.
No.
There's no way.
Nah, and that's kind of what my dilemma when I do these mocks. I try to be realistic as possible, but they'll end up giving you an F or something on it. But I'm like, dude, I'm not finna take the guys that are probably going in the second or third round here at something. Because I think, like I said, I think Kyle Williams, I think he'll go in the third. He'll sneak in there, but it is what it is. So let's
I like Jack Kaiser too. I know we didn't talk about linebackers, but I love Jack Kaiser. He doesn't have to come in and starting with Josie Jewell and Travion. And what's the linebacker we just got from the Rams? Roseblum, yeah. But I think Jack Kaiser can definitely be a good depth piece. Again, that would be a pick for me, but he's at 134. I mean, you really could get him at 114 or 140, just depending on how the board goes.
Yeah. Let's go. I may lean. hit the X on that. See, let me see who's the. I thought about going tackle, but you got a guy like Deion Walker's there inside. Aeneas Peoples has that pass rush on the inside. You can go him. I actually may go tight end with Gunnar Helm, to be honest. Just to go, I feel like I got to give the offense some help. He's a guy. His grades aren't the prettiest, but his route, his ability after the catch, his route running.
That's what they said.
He's not a great run blocker, but you can see right here it says his bread and butter is the passing game as a receiver. He's a playmaker after the catch, which is what we need. He's a bigger body compared to the other guys. He came alive really in the red zone for Quinn Ewers and that team. I'm good with taking Gunnar Helm. I think it's a good value in that. His big board rank is 116. We're at 111. I'm all about value, so let's go ahead and do that.
Hey, let me find out you a Texas Longhorn fan.
3 out of 4, right? Okay.
Let me find out you a Texas Longhorn fan.
This is the time where I'm thinking like either Crenshaw or I'm thinking, because I don't want to miss out on Kyle Williams. I think he'll go before 140. But what do you think about Kyle Williams here?
I would say this. I'm not opposed. I'll put the wide receivers up. I can take Kyle Williams, but also if you look at tackle, there's a tackle in the name of Logan Brown that I really like a lot. That's played a lot of right tackle, and if you see, he's basically played right tackle all his career at the University of Kansas.
Yep.
Sits at 6'6", 315. I found out about him at the Shrine Bowl. Talking to a couple of his playmates. So, and another thing for me is blue across the board. He's improved every single year. Every single year he's improved.
No sack. He hasn't given up a sack. He didn't even give up a sack in all 3 years. So I mean, obviously, I think I read about it. He got hurt in 2023, but as you can see, no sacks giving up. So he's a guy that I think I forgot what they said about him. What the report said, but I'm good. I do like Logan Brown here.
And like I said, we can wait because again, if you want,
true, because we got 146 too.
Correct, and then if you want that running back or wide receiver, I will go if you want Brashard Smith now, and then you go get Cal Williams at 140.
Yeah, Brashard Smith not gonna be there at 140. Every time I do this, he don't make it there. So let's go Brashard Smith, man. Might as well. I thought about skipping him, but Ja'Cory, he's been going pretty quick too. After he's pretty well.
And like I said, Cal Williams is still there because you got 140, 146. But then if you put in that tackle, you can get your boy out of UConn.
Yeah. Let's go Kyle Williams first, and we'll double back on the tackle because I do like Logan Brown as well. So if we miss on Lunt, I feel good with the gap between that. So that's just the thing to exercise, and we still could get Lunt. And so we end up going 3 defenses up first, prioritizing and coming back with offense. Let's go ahead and get Lunt. He's a developmental guy. He's huge though, and he moved. And I think the only thing about him is his hip flexibility because he's so tall, which makes sense. So you expect,
correct.
But he's a guy that's going to be able to learn and get stronger. I think his anchor is a little bit of a question, but that's just because he doesn't have much leverage. Lindenberg is a guy that's pretty solid, and Stutzman. Stutzman's super productive, but he's like one of them old school type of linebackers. He's big, but he ran a great time at the combine, man, surprisingly for his size. But typically them dudes that are like productive linebackers at a big school, they typically translate pretty well. So Stutzman's a guy that'll be around later. Like I said, he's huge, but he's a great sideline.
241.
You say he's often liability in coverage though, but he's great against the run. But
I can take a run stopping linebacker and you work on coverage.
Yeah, you can substitute him out for a coverage linebacker or whatever you're gonna do. But you can look at the numbers down if you scroll down on his metrics, just the stats. I mean, we're not gonna take him now, but you can look at the run stops. He's tied for 7th on that one. So like he played a lot of snaps. You can look at all these snaps over the past 3 seasons, over almost 800 snaps in 2022, which is nuts in the box. But like he's a guy that I think is very, very productive. He'll be there around. So just keeping that feather in the cap in terms of linebacker. But he doesn't really fit the style of I think what they like at linebacker, in my opinion. They like those speedy guys versus those bigger guys. So let's go back to the main list. If you want to exit that, we've already hit tight end, linebacker, whatever, tackle. We talked about doing safety again, but I don't know if that's the time to do it now.
Here, let me see who's available. Upton Stout, have you really looked at him? Again, only thing with him, he's just small. He's just small.
He was running nickel in Mobile. Straw is a guy. He ran some nickel as well, but I think I don't know if he's a big nickel. So think low rig type of style of guy, but bigger, stronger nickel that brings reliable tackling. So we talked about wanting that tackling. He's not a deep safety, but we got our deep safety in Makuba. So
correct.
Straw is another guy that's an option. Because we pretty much hit on everything except linebacker, unless we go interior D line, but we already pretty much did that. But I know they talked to if you scroll
Zeke
down,
Biggers. I know about Zeke Biggers.
Yeah, they talked to Cameron Jackson, but he'll probably be available. He won't make it to our last pick, but he's a potential option as well.
Ty Robinson is good too.
Yeah, Ty Robinson, yeah, from Nebraska, big body guy. That can strong at the point of attack. I don't know. What you thinking? Safety maybe again?
I'll do safety and I'll do linebacker. Because, I mean, you can add to that, but another one, is he gone? Teddy Buchanan, I definitely learned a lot about him.
I recently heard about him too.
And then this is another one I've been able to get later. Someone Munden Jr. out of Georgia. So it just depends. But Colton Lindenberg, I did hear you, and then he did say he tries to model, and I think a lot of kids need to stop saying that because he's one of a kind. His game after Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly cannot be duplicated or anything. Like Luke Kuechly was one of one, but I like that he said he likes that. So I wouldn't mind taking Cody Littenberg here and then taking interior D lineman out of Florida if he is available.
Yeah, let's go Lindenberg. Might as well. And then, I don't know if Cameron will be there, but if not,
let's see.
He hasn't made it. Ty Robinson.
Nah, he's gone. He's gone. Ty Robinson's still there.
Ty Robinson is there, and then we either do Ty Robinson or the guy we talked about, Malachi Moore, as a potential safety. If we want to go safety again, taking a flyer on him. But we haven't gone.
Yeah, I'll pull up Ty Robinson so people can see his metrics, and then we'll go to other 6'3". Like I said, I like him. I like Ty Robinson again.
Let's go him, man. Look at that. His win rate is up in upper tier. His run start rate is upper tier for that. Scroll down on this. Yeah, they don't have anything else on that. But
no, they don't have anything else.
He plays more in the B gap. And so he'll be more inside out versatility as well. But I like 6 sacks. Can't really argue with it.
For me, that's a different type. We don't have anybody on that defensive line right now that's 6'6". How big is how tall is Bobby Brown the third? Isn't he like 6'4"?
I think 6'3", 6'4", something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a different body type that I like.
Body type, different play style as well. I'm good with going Ty. Let's go Ty here.
All right. I already know PFF gonna be like, what are y'all doing? The chat gonna be like, what are y'all doing? So, like I said, B, C, C. I'm actually surprised they gave you a D because most when you draft a running back too high, you still got a solid B.
Yeah, they're gonna go. Rashard, he's a 5th rounder, but he wasn't gonna make it to 140. That's the thing.
There's no way, and that's the one thing I hate about PFF. One thing I hate about PFF. So, all right, let's do one more so we can get the good people out of here. It'll be a trade back if there's one available. All right, let's go. All right.
So let's see. I'm not the Bears.
So you got Chicago, Miami, the Colts, and the Chiefs. I did one with the Colts and got a great ransom from trading down 6. I never did Miami. So which one you think?
Hit that drop. Oh, the drop down didn't work from what I can't see it on my end.
Okay, so we got. So I just got Miami and the Colts and the Chiefs. You can choose anybody else you'll like.
Let's try Miami.
All right, so they're at pick 13.
So let's do this. Let's go. Obviously, a pick swap.
Mm-hmm.
Throw in 48.
Mm-hmm.
61% chance. And I try to make it realistic. Let's go. Throw in.
I was thinking 135, and then we can give them a pick away.
Yeah, I would throw in 57. Throw in 57, and we'll just take their 3rd rounder straight up. That's a potential option. That way we have 2 3rd rounders. Take 98 from them.
Okay.
So basically, we move back, but we move up in the second and get a free third. I think this is fairly realistic. I mean, and what I don't like making 12 picks on the draft, so I try to go pick for pick if I do. But I know Mike K talked about trading with the Cowboys, who's at 12. He thought about the same scenario, but in his scenario, we get their third rounder. He thought that would be good value, pretty much 2 pick swaps. So we move up in the second, and then of course we get a third straight up. So obviously PFF thinks is likely to be accepted. So I think I'm fine with this.
Let's see. I mean, it went through.
Yeah.
So you got 13, 48. You go up 9 spots from your original pick, and then you gain another pick. I'm not mad at it.
We talked about that gap between 8 and 57. So we closed that gap a little bit by moving back, and we pick up an extra third.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. All right, so who went? They got Will Johnson, who Dunc talked about earlier, in the straight up draft. Mike Green went to the Saints. Malachi Starks went to the Bears. Tyler Warren went to the 49ers, which I think that's iffy. Membo went to the Cowboys. I think that's actually going to work. So now, again, we're on the clock. Really and truly, if the Jalen Walker and Mikael Williams train is really going down the track, I think we'll choose either or. You get both. Everybody heard what Dunc and myself both said about him. I do think we take Jalen Walker, so I'm not opposed to taking that. Dunc, what you think?
I agree. I personally think, well, according to what they said, Mikael is kind of taking the lead per se between the two of them, but I would take Jalen Walker. We're trying to think about their mindset. Both of them, we know our options, so I'm fine with going Jalen Walker here.
All right. So then we go to 48.
And Braden Swinson is my guy. I would not think twice about it if this was me. He fits everything that he has. The arm length. He's over 33-inch arms. He struggles a little bit against the run, but I think it's more of a mindset thing, a technique thing than anything. Not mindset, a technique thing than anything. His pass rush win rate is, I think he had the number 2 or number 1. Yeah, out of the whole class, which is very, very underrated. 9 sacks. This guy, man, I'm a big fan of him. I think he can actually sneak into the first. I think, man, he hasn't. Really
I've heard that. Now I've heard at the back end. It just depends on the back end, and then what teams like him. I've heard that.
Yeah, and he hasn't got as much love from the public, but if he's on the board in the second round, it's almost a no-brainer. I want to look at corner really quick to see who's there. And there's a lot of good guys there, but I feel comfortable with. I don't think.
Here, let me go, because we did. I'm gonna do this as well. It's too early for that too. I mean, that's your top. I mean, if you're talking about BPA, which Dan Morgan said he wanted to do on yesterday, is not be closed in the box and go BPA. Why not get him?
Yeah, I was going Swinson because I like JT, but there's not anybody else that's going to be able to get off of the edge, pure pass rush that can rotate like him.
All right, you at 7. We're at 74 now. We go back to corner because I know we do need that corner. Oh, here's my guy right here. He's moving up.
Yeah. He's a nickel as well.
Yeah, but he can play outside too. Don't let that frame fool you that he can't play outside either.
Yeah. Parrish, he's 105, so he may be around later. We got pass rush. This is, and I see Ozzie Trapillo. He's a guy that the Panthers, they were at his pro day yesterday.
Yep, just the other day.
So he's a guy. Like I said, he's playing left. He played left tackle. He played some right tackle as well for the past 2 years. He's probably 6'8", 309 is ridiculous.
But he played all right tackle. I love it. Yeah. I absolutely love it.
I think this could be a pick that they consider. Like I said, they've been looking at a lot of day 2 O linemen. His dad played in the league and was good. Was good in the league and in college as well. I don't know.
I look at it. We traded back, so again, you're still fixing a need that's right away. I understand everybody saying Brady Christensen is on a 1-year deal, Doug. Okay, that's cool and dandy. What if he says, okay, I want to go somewhere else. Then you have a hole there at that right tackle where you already have that taken care of going into the new year.
Yeah. Let's go with your pillow then. Unless a safety would be the only hesitant that would see, because I love Makuba personally, but
Let me see.
Jonas will probably be on the board next pick. Yeah, Makuba. If we may get lucky. So let's go with the O lineman who's ranked 75, and we know they're interested in. And let's just not think.
There you go. And there go Makuba again.
Makuba's there. We're gonna take him in both drafts. I'm good with taking him in both drafts. He's a guy we know they love Texas Longhorns. He can play that.
Correct.
Let's do it.
I'll take Jacob Parrish. This is me. Like I said, I'll pull his metrics up. I'm fine with Jacob Parrish again. Had a pleasure talking to him at the Big 12 Pro Day. Again, they said that he can play nickel, but I think he can play both if, Lord forbid, somebody goes down.
Yeah.
Again, this is what really shocks me, his weight at 5'10". So
yeah. He's the most confident. And
I'll pull it back up.
So basically, what his last paragraph is saying is that he gets a little grabby against bigger receivers, which is probably why they put him inside. But it sounds like, man, press man coverage from the slot. I like that ability. I want us to be more aggressive. I know that's not really Mike Jackson's game, but it's definitely J.C. Horn's game.
Correct.
Parrish, I like him. Let's look at who else is available. We already got our safety.
Right. Got you.
We're going to go to cornerback for waiting. Let's look at wide receiver. That's the other thing.
You want to do wide receiver?
Yeah. Because I don't want to miss out on nobody. And Bond's already gone. Williams may be back. We may be able to spin back on. I like Torrey Horton. He's just coming off of an injury. But I think he's going to be a great pro. But I'm good with going Parrish in this scenario. But Horton, yeah, you can see the past couple of years, 1,100 yards. Both.
No, you got 3 picks right after 111. So
yeah, let's go Parrish. Yeah.
All right. So you got Jacob Parrish. Let's go wide receiver.
Let's go. We got our O line. What's tight end looking like? Tight end's probably dried up by now. Yeah, Gunnar Helms up. I'm good. We'll wait on tight end because there's other high upside guys that I may like. Bro, Quindarius Robinson is enough. I'm tempted to double dip on edge, but then we will be taking 3 pass rushers because if you see Jalen Walker as that type of guy, I don't see him as a full-time edge. I see Jalen Walker playing linebacker, like I said, being at Louisville. But this is a guy, he didn't get a lot of playing time, but he plays all 4 special teams. He got stuck behind Will Anderson, like they say here. All the good pass rushers that's come out of Alabama, he got stuck behind. A lot of good traits. This is when you would gamble on the upside of him. Like I said, he plays all the special teams. So this is a guy.
Yeah, that's one thing Dan Morgan said yesterday about special teams on the back end. I want to say it was Joe Person that said on the back end, what round are we in? Like that back end, you want people that can help you with special teams, but also be a contributor if they need to step in. And you just literally just say he plays all 3 special teams.
Yeah, I mean, he plays whatever you want him to do, and he's going to be able to get you in there on third down. We talked about having a lot of old guys and guys not here long term. And him rotating with Braden Swinson. I think he's a little bit better. He's lighter, but he's still, in my opinion, he's a little bit stronger against the run. But he just needs to get that pass rush bag up. But he has that length and that stuff that he has that burst and get off. You can look at his pass rush win rate 24%. Look at all the numbers. Everything's upper percentile.
Upper tier, that elite.
Yeah, and so he hasn't played a lot of ball. You can look at these snaps over here on the left. Like even this past year, he only played 246, and he doesn't have big sack numbers. But watching his tape, man, I'm a big fan of this guy. Getting him on day 3, I'm tempted to do it, man. 3, you never have too many pass rushers, and so I don't know. What you think?
I want to double. I don't think we need to double dip on corner, but I like that. I do think we go here. 140 has to be Cal Williams if he's available at 140.
Yeah, for sure. If we do that. And Q Robinson, AC Carter, our defensive line coach, the one that we just hired, the outside linebacker coach, he was putting Q Robinson through his drills at the pro day. So there's a connection there. So I think he could be somebody that they consider for sure as bad as we need pass rush. And this probably puts, when we talked about DJ Johnson or Barno on the outside looking in. Let the best man win, in my opinion. So
I think their leash has been is strung out now.
Yeah. So
right,
it is what it is. All right, let's look at wide receiver. Kyle
So you
Williams
still
is
can
there.
do Kyle Williams is there, and you can do your running back still. But I want to see.
Jarquez is there too. All
I
three.
was going to take Jarquez more than Brayshawn because again, who's came in on a visit.
Right. So let's go. Let's go running back at 146. Let's go ahead and get Kyle Williams because I don't want no funny business to happen if something happens. But I know I'm good with either Ja'Cory or Jarquez. And Bashar is even still there too.
Yep. So
and
there
Ja'Cory
we go.
actually went. That's the thing.
Yep.
Oh.
Who do you go to? I want to know who you went to because it had to be in between. Patriots.
Okay, let's take Hunter here. We met with him. It's a downhill running back. All right.
I'll go back to the picks.
So we really got a great variety thus far of picks, man. We hit defense. We done hit the trenches. We done got plenty of pass rush, man, to add some juice on that side. We got our ball hawk at safety. We got a competitive nickel corner that can play some press man coverage. It's gonna be able to change what we can do. We got our separator and Kyle Williams that has a lot of upside as just them hands. And we got a downhill back or an RB3 that runs pretty hard. I like everything we've done thus far. I think the only thing we could probably look at maybe is
what about
interior D line, maybe linebacker, depending on who's there, and we could probably and tight end if we want to do tight end because we need unless we go a vet tight end. I like Mitchell Evans' upside. He's more of a blocker, but Findon from Nebraska, he's a dude that has some upside as well. These tight ends aren't going to get a lot of production, but those measurables are completely different than what we have in our room right now, man. And I think
you can't teach size.
Yeah, so I think the upside is there for him potentially. You can see his drop rate is very low, only one drop. Mm-hmm. Like I said, the tight end production, man, it's always tough to evaluate. You really got to gamble on them traits.
You got to look at the scheme too that they ran in Nebraska.
Yeah, and you can see the miss. He has 8 missed tackles for us, which is 24th. Let's go back to the list. I'm leaning kind of Fidone right now because he's ranked 160 something. We got D-line, the D-line rule or linebacker.
Let me see
pretty much for me, it's either linebacker or Fidone for me.
I already know Cameron's gonna be gone.
Yeah,
I know he's gonna be gone. So we'll go for Dunc. That's a new name I'll have to look at.
Yeah, he's I guess they're not in the Big 12 no more, so he wouldn't have been there with you. Thor Griffin is a guy that's a good.
I've heard some things about him.
Yeah, he's big.
6'2", 320. That's
he
big.
got that height. They talked about they wanted height, so he probably wouldn't meet that. But they were at the Louisville Pro Day. I mean, I heard they were talking to Riley, but
the corner.
Yeah. But I'm sure they had to see him. His pass rush win rate's pretty solid. Run stop win rate was solid.
He's short. That's a no-go.
He's short and light. Let's look at safety.
Oh,
Malachi Moore is there.
We can do it because then we talked about him earlier when we talked about the other safeties. You can get somebody in the back end of the draft.
Yeah, and he can play special teams as well.
Correct. Well, we got two Alabama players that can be depth pieces, but playing special teams. And again, when you have Sam Franklin gone, Blackshear gone, a lot of our special team, I'm not gonna call them aces, but players are gone now. So now you need that void to be filled.
And Barno was a gunner when he was healthy.
Correct.
He ran that 4.3, so he was fast. So he's a guy that you can replace as well. I'm fine with going Malachi Moore. I think we pretty much everything else, and now is just kind of getting guys that can make the team and contribute. I'm good with Malachi.
That undrafted free agent. I mean, we got Jalen Coke. You saw how that went.
Yeah, he was a leader. He was a leader for them.
I knew this. I can't stand PFF.
They don't like Jalen Walker, man.
So Swansea got how you say his name? Ozzy. I don't know how to say his last name. He got a B-. Trapillo, Makuba A, Parrish A, Robinson a B+, Cal C, Hunter C, Fondon C, and then Malachi Moore B. So you got another solid B, and I think this is more kind of sort of what the Panthers will do. It's not based off of fandom or us being content creators. I really think this is how they would try to attack it with a trade back to get more value, knowing that you need a tackle for Taylor Moton. Then you're bringing in special teamers that can contribute when they need to come in, and a Robinson and in a Moore as well.
But these are also guys that they've met with. Like, it's not just pulling rabbits out. Almost all of these guys on this list, except probably Kyle Williams. I haven't heard anything about Jacob Parrish.
No, Jacob Parrish, I interviewed him. Jacob Parrish said he met with the Panthers.
Okay.
He met with them at the combine.
So outside of our last two picks, every other pick has some type of connection to the Panthers. Except Swinson. I haven't heard anything about Swinson, but he fits the length of what they want to do. He fits that Fangio style of defense, a stand-up guy with long arms and stuff like that. So I think this is actually a pretty damn good draft, to be honest.
I like it.
Getting a tackle, getting a separator at receiver like Kyle Williams, man, and then hitting the running back in that downhill. 9 picks, man. I think all those guys can contribute early on, whether in some standpoint, whether it's special teams or anything else.
I like it, man. Like I said, Dunc, I appreciate you. Hopefully the chat enjoyed it. I can't wait to see what they say. Dunc, where you thinking, Doug? Like, you just following the same thing. But again, like I said, I think we're going to get more of a narrow path of what the Panthers are going to do. Again, pay attention to these top 30 visits because they're going to come quick. They're going to come quick. It was telling last year, Mike K had a good point. 6 out of the 7 we've actually had in-house and we talked to at the Senior Bowl. Shout out to Edgar. Edgar's keeping a good tracker. He said every person that we had a top 30 visit, they met with at the Senior Bowl. So, again, like I said, it's fastly approaching. I'm glad. I can't wait to welcome new blood here in that building, here to the fan base. So, Dunc, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, man, you can find me at Dunc on Demand. You can see me, the handle down there on Twitter at Dunc on Demand. If you want to get where I do most of my damage, which is YouTube, you got to go to youtube.com/@UB Sports Talk. It's a lot. So basically, youtube.com/@UB Sports Talk. It's a new thing they let you do now to find channels directly. So, man, I appreciate you having me on, Doug. This is a good exercise to do, man. Made me really use some brain muscles.
Yeah, man, like I said, I appreciate it every time. Like I said, I wanted Dunc on before we go look at wet and venues. Me and Dunc were laughing about it earlier. So we won't have a show first week in April. We will be back with Jared from Twitter. He'll come up and do a mock draft with us. And we got a plethora of people that will come up and talk to us heading into the draft. Again, Panther Nation, we appreciate you stopping by What's Up, Doug. Everybody stay safe. Everybody take care. Until next time. Peace.